that there was rats in our room. Made it back to Ha Giang.
It's a pretty nice view to wake up to.
A bit too much anxiety for me to go down this road, so I'm walking while Matt's taking her bike. It's too far of a walk. I had to get back on.
Like that. Instagram versus reality. So many people. Hello everybody.
Good morning.
So today we woke up earlier than we have been because our checkout was very early this morning. And we drove to this waterfall that we heard was like kind of off the beaten path, but apparently not.
Well, everybody found it by now.
Yeah, everybody found it by now, but it's a very tough motorbike ride to get here.
Yeah.
So it's like basically driving on the bed of a slippery river.
Now we have to go uphill it now.
Yeah, now we have to go uphill. But yeah, we haven't had any breakfast, so we're about to go back into town, grab some breakfast, maybe a coffee, and then we're heading back to Ha Giang. Now, we're taking a different route than we're supposed to because we heard that the route that we're supposed to go is extremely dangerous right now, or just always, I don't know. So it should probably take us about 3.5 to 4 hours on the bike, and then we'll be back in Ha Giang.
Yay, welcome to our last day on the Ha Giang Loop, and it's a really pretty day today.
It is. I think the best day we've had so far, except maybe the first day. Okay, bye.
Guys, tell me how at 5 a.m. I woke up because there was this weird sound in our room, and this man just...
Did you see the crumbs on the ground this morning?
That was from them?
They ate our snacks.
This man just told me that there were rats in our room, and he did nothing about it.
What am I gonna do, fight a bubonic plague rat? No.
And this morning I woke up and I'm like, what the hell are all these crumbs on the ground? They ate all our crackers. We had sealed crackers in our bag. They're gone.
It was rats. I was like, what is that noise? And it reminded me, because we had rats in our room in Mount LeConte one time. It reminded me of that, because like whenever you turn the light on, they stop. And then when we turned the light off, I like really quickly shined the flashlight and I saw 3 rats in the roof like heading out.
So this Ha Giang Loop has been super adventurous and pretty rough. We have been wearing the same clothes for 4 days just because I brought so many shorts and biker shorts and everything, but it's been quite cold and I have 1 pair of leggings. So it's been like camping almost. But yeah, we're gonna head out to Ha Giang now. We're going to take the 181 and we'll insert a map of what route we end up taking because there's a few options. We're not taking the 176 to 34. We heard that that route is super dangerous. 181 is supposed to be moderately okay, but also supposed to be super beautiful and less traffic, which is nice because we don't want to deal with those trucks anymore.
Yeah.
And then the other option is to go all the way back into Yanmen and then go all the way back down the outer loop, which is what we did on the first day, which would probably take us about 5 hours. So super inconvenient, but those are really nice roads.
Yeah,
so
going this way will take about 40 kilometers off our route.
So we think we called our host in Ha Giang and she told us to go ahead and do the 181 route. So we're gonna do it and we will let you know how it goes. I also read that some people said it's the most beautiful part of the loop, so.
Hopefully that doesn't mean that it's the most off the beaten path part.
Anyways, we've slept with frogs, rats, cockroaches, lizards, and have crashed the scooter 3 times.
We're ready to be done.
Yeah, I think 4 days is a good amount of time.
4 days is a good amount because I couldn't imagine doing that in 3 days. It would have been altogether too much driving, and I feel like we would have fared even worse. Like at least we had like nights and sleep to break it up.
I'm not sure why I didn't expect myself to be so exhausted because, I mean, it's not like we're hiking for 4 days, we're sitting on a scooter, but that's way more stressful. Like my anxiety.
I mean, we're like sore too from like flexing.
Yeah, I have high level anxiety and my thighs are so sore because I'm flexing them the entire time just to maintain my same position when we're going downhill. And then obviously he's doing way more work and he's super sore. It'll be nice to get back to Ha Giang.
40? Yeah.
So this is the start of Highway 181 from Jujia to wherever, on the way back to Ha Giang. And so far, so good. I think the biggest culture shock we've had, besides like riding through rural villages with children playing and toddlers running out giving you high fives, or moms carrying their babies through the fields, I think it would be that all these people live in the most rural villages possible. And they all have smartphones. Like, I literally saw a girl walking carrying a bag full of whatever that is.
Yeah.
And then she was texting on her smartphone, and I'm just like, what is going on? Hello. Hi.
Just take a look behind me. We're in some like tiny rural village with like maybe a population of 200. We don't even know the name of it. And we're surrounded by a valley of mountains. And if I stop talking with my loud mouth, there's like no sound. Okay, except for some guy sawing, but that's crazy.
Okay, so this is my opinion. I think that the 181 highway and the Mapile Pass were the best roads on the whole entire loop, because the 181 highway had some rocky parts but very few, and it was just so quiet and serene, and there were no trucks and barely any honking, and it was just motorbikes. So I definitely think taking the 181 is the best option. If we hadn't and we had gone all the way back up to Yenmen, we would have had 3 more hours still. So now we are done with the 181 highway and we are in Quan Pha, and we will just be taking the main roads back to Ha Giang. We stopped off at this little restaurant for some lunch because we are starving, and check it out. And there's a really pretty river over there, and I'll walk over after I'm done eating and show you guys. Made it back to Thai's homestay. That was rough. The last 40 minutes of our drive, the horn gave out again, so that was sketchy. But we made it back and we're in a lot of pain. Yeah, we'll catch you up and we'll let you know our entire review of the HA GIANG Loop, but we freaking made it.
We made it. It was insane.
Yeah, we're exhausted. It's about 5:30 now, so we are done for the day.
Our final kilometer count is 394 kilometers. 4 days, 394 kilometers, 3 bike wrecks.
2 sore butts.
2 sore butts.
But we made it.
We feel very accomplished. This is pretty amazing. It's definitely the hardest thing I've ever done.
I definitely say it was the hardest thing we've ever done and the most adventurous.
Yeah.
HA GIANG Loop recap. Let's go. So we are settled in Da Nang and our stay here. We're enjoying being on the beach and having an absolute chill time. So it's not as congested as Hanoi, it's not as chaotic, and it's not as stressful as the HA GIANG Loop, which we enlisted ourselves in that stress. So
yes.
And the recap is that we would do it again for sure. I think we would.
You didn't drive?
I'd sit on the back of a motorbike again.
Yeah, I would do an easy rider maybe. I don't know if I would drive it again.
So first, let's explain how we got here, because we have some footage that we're going to share just of our travels getting to Da Nang. So we left Ha Giang.
Patricia about to make us late to talk to a cat.
And look at their phone.
Bunch of little dogs.
And took a 6-hour bus. We paid extra for the VIP limousine bus because our host told us that it would be much nicer. No! The cheaper sleeper buses are much more enjoyable in my opinion, just because you can lay down and have your own like little designated space. But it was just like a typical commuter van, and it was fine. We were only in there for 6 hours and we got dropped off. Yeah.
Only 6 hours.
It doesn't sound like a lot when we did 24 hours on a bus.
Yes.
So anyways, we got dropped off directly at the airport. That was super convenient. And then we just took an 1.5-hour flight to Da Nang. We flew Bamboo Airlines for the first time and had a really good positive experience with that airline. They didn't wear carry-on bags, and yeah, it was lovely.
I made it through, and now we gotta get on a bus.
Me too. My bag's severely overweight as well. Also, you'll see in our footage that we went to the lounge in the airport, and that was really nice in Hanoi.
So the lounge in Hanoi, or at least the one that we went to with Priority Pass, is the Song Hong Business Class Lounge, and that is by far the nicest lounge that we have been to. There was almost nobody in there because it's kind of a hard lounge to get into, and just somebody off the street can't just pay a few bucks and come in. It had the best food so far. Literally, they had a chef that you could go up to and order stuff. They had sushi, sandwiches, soup, anything that you could think of, free drinks, self-serve as well, so you don't have to worry about like ordering it from somebody. And the nicest bathrooms I have ever seen in a lounge. They were so nice.
Yeah, and just as a recap, if you're new here, we get lounge access completely free through our Capital One Venture X credit card. So we are not paying for that. We are budget travelers and we get this for free. So don't get it twisted. We're not bougie. We are just a little bit savvy and get this access for free just by using a credit card. So yeah, once we got into Da Nang, we just took a grab to our Airbnb, which is the Adeline Hotel. It's only 15 minutes from the airport. Hi guys, welcome to our home. We're gonna do a little room tour for you. So it's right on the beach. Well, it's like 200 meters from the beach, but we'll show you the view in the morning. But we mainly booked it because there's a washer in unit. And then, yeah, that's the bathroom. And then we have a full kitchen. So it's an actual proper apartment and a shower. And it's huge in here. So we can work on our computers at our little desk. We have a full closet and then like a little living seating space, a nice comfy bed, a whole vanity too. And then the best part is the view. Unfortunately, it's nighttime right now. We are on the 7th floor. We have a great view. This place is huge, it's clean, and it's a luxury compared to the places we were staying on the HA GIANG Loop. And then after that, we've just enjoyed Da Nang, which you'll see in the next few vlogs. Let's do a review of the HA GIANG Loop. Matt, take it away.
Okay, what was your favorite town?
I think my favorite stay on the HA GIANG Loop, so we did 3 nights, and you can do whatever you want. You can make up your own tour. We made up our own tour. We didn't have a guide. We just did it all by ourselves. So we stayed in Dang Van one night, we stayed in Mae Vac one night, and then we stayed in Jujia the last night. I think my favorite city was for sure Jujia. That was just the most backpacker feel to a town and the most concentrated amount of tourists. So it was really fun meeting new people, and the city was just smaller and more quaint and rural. But the negative was that we stayed in the Mountain View Lodge, hotel, whatever. And if you're interested, we can send you the information. But that place had rats.
It did have rats, but it was one of the nicer places we stayed in, so it's kind of a trade-off. I'm not bothered by this stuff. Patricia is.
No, I've never had encounter. You have to explain yourself now.
Anyway.
No, you have to explain yourself. You can't just say I've been around rats. Love you.
But yeah, when I was younger, me and my dad used to hike up this mountain in Gatlinburg called Mount LeConte, and every single time that we go up there would be rats. Never been bit by one, so I don't really worry about it.
What was your favorite day on the trip?
So it's kind of a hard question to ask, actually, because my favorite day as far as like the roads and the views was our last day. But at the same time, I was so tired and my butt hurt so bad from sitting in the motorcycle for so long that I was like ready to be done. But we were riding through villages and these valleys. There wasn't very many motorcycles because we didn't take the typical way back, and there was just no traffic, no big buses. So that was like my favorite day as far as views and stuff. My least favorite day, absolutely, was the 3rd day because we almost died.
Our 3rd day was when we went from Mae Vac to Jujia, and you guys have already seen it in our previous vlogs, but it was definitely the most dangerous day when we were riding through river rocks and mud, and there were no guardrails and just thousands of feet down into the valley. So it's definitely really scary.
It's definitely a freaky feeling driving a motorcycle on a 15% decline. And it's raining-ish, and so they're not paved roads, so it's just mud, and the motorcycle, I can feel the wheels sliding, and 10 feet to your left is a 1,000-foot cliff drop, and also at the same time, giant buses and dump trucks are speeding at like 60 miles an hour around you. It's just
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. If you take your time and you're careful and you're not stupid, you'll be just fine.
And if you get lucky with the weather. Like, I feel like
Yeah.
if it was not raining, that would not be that bad at all.
Also, if you have access to rent a dirt bike, and you know how to ride a dirt bike, that would be way easier than taking a street motorbike on this loop. My favorite memory was where all the kids who were just always running out of their little homes in these villages and just so excited to see us and waving and screaming hello, and just were the most enthusiastic, cutest kids I've ever seen. And also with that, one of my favorite memories was when that one kid ran out of the bushes and was so excited to see us that he gave me a high five, or he like asked me to stick out my hand to give him a high five, and I did. Of course, I'm not going to say no. And he hit me so hard that we flipped the bike because we threw off the weight balance and got stuck under the bike, and his dad had to come help us. And to me, that's just so funny. Like, that's just a wild story.
It really is.
And then the same kid, because the road is winding as you're declining in elevation, so he cuts through the middle, through the bushes, and runs out, and then has a leather whip and just starts hitting me with it. I just thought, I didn't think anything of it. Like, he was definitely mischievous, but he wasn't malicious, and it was still a wholesome and cute experience, and I personally think it's so funny, and all is fine.
I literally laughed so hard that Patricia got switched by a 5-year-old kid.
But I recommend anybody to do it. Don't be scared, just be careful, and you'll be fine. We did 4 days, only had one mental breakdown, only had one encounter with rats.
And no encounters with the police.
Yeah, we never got stopped by the police.
But definitely that is a risk. Like 100%, there's police checkpoints. We drove past like 4.
Yeah, we just felt lucky.
We did get lucky.
But also, like, everyone was questioning us because they're like, don't you have a license? Don't you have an IDP? Which we do. But I'm pretty sure that the only way to drive in Vietnam legally is to have a Vietnamese license.
If you're from the US. So these people that are from the UK, if they have an IDP, totally fine. Vietnam accepts IDPs from every country in the world except for the United States.
You can also fact check us and do your own research and make your own decision when going, but that was one of the most incredible experiences we've ever had. It was for sure the most adventurous thing we've ever done so far.
Oh, absolutely.
In life. And
definitely the most dangerous.
Yeah.
And
sorry, moms.
Anyway.
Anyways, thank you guys for watching. We will see you tomorrow. And if you watched this far, I mean, obviously you like listening to us ramble, so just go ahead and like and subscribe. So, bye! A few days here.
It's okay, Pat.
So
We are not bougie.
So we stayed in Dong Vong one
Oh
night.
my god!